Rawlings ne mami and Sanwoy. But when Judge Makunedu. Your German on 2, GBC 1, Nukrum 3. Men can't say men man in Quabontin Kwawu, no more you. But what they say, Makunedu in any of her interviews. What is that about Bontain? Ebe can't say, buy a GBC. Turn in the water. And only the woman. You see, the best thing any woman can ever do for a man is to cover the nakedness of the man.
Sorry, I'm not too well. I don't really want to say anything right now because I've not consulted my lawyer. So I really don't want to say anything right now because the case is in court. But I will say one thing. I do not have a child with the former president, Flight Lieutenant J.J. Rawlings.
Vibrant Media, be heavily minded and ethically conscious.
Rawlings ne mami and Sanwoy. But when Judge Makunedu, I had to name maybe I say, mami and San German ni baako, GBC ni baako, Nukrumu ni baako, Matre. The Rawlings no more ye. Your German on 2. GBC 1, Nukrum 3. Tell my why me so. Rawlings in the war. What is that incredible about Bontembe can't be before? Men can't say men man in Bontembe, no more you. But what they say, Kunedu in any of her interviews. What is that about Bontembe? Ebe can't say. Buy a GBC. Obi, our Germany. Obi, our Nukurum. So on in the water. And on in the water. What head that was from Ajimakunedu? What head that? One says a young Papa Rawlings and 3 more. I can go to no Rawlings or maybe baby. You see, the best thing any woman can ever do for a man is to cover the nakedness of the man.
Captain Smart. So that was what Captain Smart said. In fact, the substance of what he said was a glory to women who cover their husband's nakedness. That was it. In drama, we call this an aside. He digressed a little bit and then went into the other thing, and that was what held him like an albatross around the neck. Captain Smart said that Rawlings had at least 6 other children while he was alive and outside his matrimony. And Nana Konedu knew all, but she never uttered a word. All the way until she died, she covered the nakedness of the man. He didn't mention the name of the woman in the Volta region who he said allegedly had children for Rawlings, 3. He didn't mention the name of the one in Germany who allegedly had 2 children for Rawlings, as he alleged. But he mentioned the one at GBC. He said, Thelma. Say, why? Mean body akano. He said, Thelma. Thelma. T-H-E-L-M-A. Thelma. That's what Captain Smart said. And then all of a sudden, a lady, a retired broadcaster, who was originally called Salma Ramatu Alasan, from a very prominent political home. In fact, her grandfather was D.C. Henkel. He was a powerful man in the days who fathered a lot of children. Her mother, Susanna Alasan, was the first woman to become a minister of state in this country under Kwame Nkrumah. This is the woman we're talking about. Salma Ramatu Alasan. Those of you who are a little older, we used to see her on GTV so bubbly and hot and beautiful. Oh my God. This is Salma. Then she got married to a man called Valcott. And her name changed from Salma Ramatu Alasan to Salma Valcott. We all remember that in the days of the GBC. I interviewed you on my show at Xylophone. And there was a hot rumor in the days that she actually murdered a child that Rawlings fathered in the days. It was all over Ghana. My brother, my sister. And when she came on my show, even though we're supposed to talk just about her, I veered a little bit into that and asked her that question. In fact, she got emotional on the show. Those of you who watched it, you can still go online and check it out from Xylophone Media. She almost shed tears. In fact, we those in the studio saw tears. She said never. She never dated Rawlings. Rawlings was not her friend, let alone have a child with Rawlings. She had only one child all her life. And that child died in a car accident. And anytime anybody mentions that she had a child with Rawlings, she remembers this child who died in a car accident abroad. So I decided to place a call to her to ask her, Mama Salma, tell me, I'm hearing that you have sued Captain Smart. What exactly is the issue? Is it still about the Rawlings affair? How are you feeling right now? She didn't want to talk, but we always have a way of making them talk. Okay? Watch this.
Sorry, I'm not too well. I don't really want to say anything right now because I've not consulted my lawyer. So I really don't want to say anything right now because the case is in court. But I will say one thing. I do not have a child with the former president, Flight Lieutenant J.J. Rawlings. I will say that. Absolutely. And that is the end of my speech right now. Everything else is in court.
Did you ever date him?
No, please. I never dated him. And you're asking me why it's still going. I don't know why. I cannot answer that question. And I have already told you that I don't want to talk about it. I never dated him and I do not have a child with him.
Very interesting. But finally, how does this make you feel?
I feel horrible.
How does this rumor make you feel? How does it make you feel time after time?
I feel horrible. I feel sad. My only child, Omar Farouk Nagaya, whose dad was Alhaji Tijani Nagaya, died in 2004. And these rumors diminish the painful memory of my child and replace it with a lie. I'm broken-hearted. I'm sad. And I've been sad for decades. And Captain Smart was, I don't want to go there. It's in court. I don't want to say anything about him. I do not have a child with the former president of Ghana, Flight Lieutenant J.J. Rawlings. Please, can we leave it there?
Well, Salma Ramatu Alasan, she says she's sad. And every time this thing comes up, it breaks her down. I don't know why those rumors are not dying. In fact, I decided to speak with a lawyer. Because she told me she wouldn't want to tell me anything. If anything at all, I should speak with a lawyer. So I got in contact with the lawyer and I asked him some pertinent questions, neck-breaking questions. But he told me something that surprised me. So Salma Ramatu Alasan actually took this matter to court in the 1990s against Chronicle newspaper. Chronicle had published that she had a child for Rawlings. And she went to court and won. And years down the line, journalists are still saying that she fathered a child with Rawlings. The general public is still saying that she mothered a child that Rawlings fathered. My brother, my sister, let's listen to what her lawyer, Issa Adam, told us. Watch this.
Captain Smart on November, around 8 November, appeared on his show, his TV show, Unia TV. And he was casting innuendos to the fact that Salma, Rawlings had children at different places. And Salma, he claimed Salma Al-Hassan has a child with Rawlings, which is not true. It had been rumored in the past like that she has a child with Rawlings, which is not true. And at a point even in the 90s, she even sued the Chronicle newspaper and got damages, you know. So we thought that this issue had died, only for him to bring this out of nowhere. And it is not true. And it hurts the lady so much. You know, it's so painful. And I gave the Captain Smart the opportunity. We wrote to him and his radio station asking him to retract because it's not true. The radio station wrote back and acknowledged and said they were going to investigate. Captain Smart didn't find our letter worth replying to. And so the letter was written in November and we are in January. So we decided to issue, upon her instructions, I decided to we issue this writ for defamation. For what he has done is actually defamatory to the character of the lady, Salma Al-Hassan, a very decent, unassuming, innocent lady.
All right. So when the TV station wrote back, what did they say?
They acknowledged, they first of all acknowledged our letter and said the allegations about their employee, Captain Smart, are very serious. And that they will investigate and get back to us.
Okay. So what are you looking at? What do you want from this suit?
Well, we want first of all a retraction of the falsehood about Madam Selma Barcott, and then an apology done in the same prominence as it was done on the TV station, and then for the damage done to her image and her personality.
All right. So how much are you looking at?
Honestly, what we are even looking at is token. We are just looking for 10 million Ghana cedis. Others are suing for 100 million more. In fact, it is not the money that is actually the issue. We just wanted the lies peddled about her to be debunked and to be retracted. That is why we are asking for this token amount.
So if he agrees that, all right, he would retract and apologize, are you going to let the cash go or you insist on it?
Oh, well, that is actually the basic thing we want. The basic were the image of the woman that has been tarnished so badly, so bruised. You know, the unfortunate thing is that Salma Al-Hassan used to be married, legally married to a certain businessman called Alhaji Tijani Nagaya. You know, and they had one child. Alhaji Tijani Nagaya is late, and then Salma's child is also late. His only child, that is her only child in the world. One Farouk Nagaya. And this rumor and whatever Captain Smart did actually brought back pains of her only child that she lost.
Why is it that this rumor being peddled around is still being peddled around? Because this one, as you said, was pelted around somewhere in the 1990s. And it's still going on, even though somebody was taken to court and judgment went in the favor of Madam uh, uh, Salma Al-Hassan. Why is this thing still going on?
Well, if I may hazard a guess, Salma Al Hassan's grandfather was one DC Henkel, a famous DC who was DC for Ketekrachi area. He was also an educationist. He established a lot of schools in the north and other parts. In fact, he's also said to have either taught or established the school at Kimbu. And he had so many children. He had so many children all over. And I hear even at the age of, when he was in his late 70s and early 80s, he was still having children, you know. And Salma's mother, Honorable Susanna Lassan, who was the first ever cabinet minister in Africa under the CPP government.
Vibrant Media. Please subscribe to my channel for more updates.